welcome to this week's episode, Time to Cut the Nonsense. Let's talk MindSense. I'm your host, Meena J.
मन की बातें तो होती रहेंगी Keep watching MindSense में हूँ आपकी host Sarita Chen. And today in the studio is Dolly Debbie. Dolly, very welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And Dolly, I feel that, instead of me saying something about you, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Well, I should say that I'm a cancer survivor. I finished my 5 years of remission in April. And I'm just very happy that I've finished my journey through the devastation of cancer.
So I have known Dolly just for a few years, and I got connected to Dolly because she was working on a very special project, and I belong to part of a women's group that we got together to help Dolly in that journey. And Dolly, congratulations, on your health.
Thank you.
You're looking absolutely stunning,
Yes,
beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice, yes.
Yeah. And having said that, let's start a little bit about your childhood. Tell us a little bit, where were you born, where did you grow up, and how your journey to Canada?
Oh, I was born in Fiji, and after that I moved to Canada, and from here went to England. And so I've been all over, let's put it
I was
that
going
way.
to say, you're speaking like the British.
So you moved from Fiji to Canada, then went
to
England and then
yes.
back to Canada?
No, actually I was in US. I was in Orange County.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I lived there for a while and then moved back into Canada because my parents were here. So
Which one did you like the best? Which country?
England.
Yeah. The country or the people?
People as well.
Ex-
Yes, people. Of
And
course.
here she wants to say, and she left
But I
England
like
because
the
she loves
people.
Canada.
No, I like Canada, the country, the scenery and everything. But people-wise, I guess I'm biased because I was born there. So
I know that are very friendly, just like Fiji.
Yeah.
I know. I feel
I
like,
love
I love
Fiji.
Fiji. I love the people
My heart
too.
is still Fijian,
Yeah,
even though I was born. I'm still, Canadian.
Yeah.
But my heart is still Fijian.
Yeah.
Because Fiji people are very friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Fiji.
And I think at that time we were moving out of Fiji because we're looking at more opportunities out of Fiji. There, it was a lot of farming and that going on when we were growing up. That's, I'm thinking in the 70s and 80s. Whereas now it's very different. What Fiji has to offer, it has changed so much in the last, 2 decades.
Oh, definitely. It's not the Fiji that we grew up. It's totally different.
And even the people, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the friendliest people, I believe, in
The friendliest
world.
people on earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have moved once to one country. It's difficult.
Right.
And there's a lot of changes, right? You went from Fiji to was it Canada to England to USA
And then
back to
back to
Canada.
Canada,
How
yeah.
was that? And that's very courageous to hear also.
Because what was happening that you for your moves?
There's reasons.
Okay.
For what I went to England, and then of course that I met my life partner, what I got married to, and then we moved to US, and of course things we cut him back into Canada with my son. So that where my life journey took me from one country to the other, and that was the reason. And here's my parents are here, so I thought.
Yeah.
Dolly, you mentioned cancer.
Yes.
So I know it's a very sensitive, subject. When it's about your own personal journey, it's hard to talk about. But you are so inspiring. I hear you speak, and it makes me cry. But I look at you and I go, "What a courageous woman!" And I think that you are such an envy and such a inspiration for so many people who go through the journey of cancer. So how about let's talk about that, your journey.
I was diagnosed cancer in 2016. I went through chemotherapy, radiation, and I've been on remission since then. So I finished my remission a couple months ago. It wasn't an easy journey, I'll tell you, but I found that having positive attitude and a great sense of humor made my journey much easier for me, because it is something that not easy. I mean, a lot of people think going through chemo is nothing, but once you put yourself in that person's shoe, you'll realize how difficult it is. It was very painful. But again, I said, one has to have a positive attitude.
And we always hear, yes, breast cancer, and we hear about it. and we never think it's going to be us, but then having to experience that yourself, and when you experience something, whether it's like a depression, mental illness, or anything for yourself, you get a whole new understanding for it, because even though you think you understand and you feel the other person's pain, but until you actually go through it, there's a whole deeper level of going through that. So how was it for you? So it's breast cancer. Did you find yourself first, or like out of the blue, like obviously nobody expects that, we all are educated, we should look for this, we should self-examine, but we never expect that it's going to happen to us.
True, because I never examined myself. Yet my grandma died in Fiji for breast cancer a long time ago, and actually had just lost my father two and a half months, and so I was helping my mother move some stuff and pack some stuff. And one day I just realized that I had a little bit of a lump. Going back a month before, I had a mammogram done. It came back and said, "Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it.
So just
we'll
a month
see
before.
You." Month before that, I felt the lump myself. You'll be fine. We'll see you in 2 years. And then while I was packing, helping my mom pack up my dad's stuff, and I was laying in bed and I found a little lump on my breast, and I thought, oh, it was hurting me. And sometimes people say cancer doesn't hurt, but in my case, it was hurting me. So I said, okay, Friday I'm off, I'll go to the doctor. So I did go to the doctor who knew my history. And he said, I want you to get a mammogram done, and I also want you to get a biopsy done and ultrasound. So I did go and get that done, and found out a couple of days later that I was positive. So don't take it for granted when you have a lump that, oh, it's okay, it's just a benign whatever. No, go get it checked. Because in my case, if I did, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today, because I would have thought, okay, it came 2 years.
Earlier the better, yeah. Especially because thinking, I just had a mammogram, nothing came up there, so this is probably nothing, and just having that kind of expectation that I just had a mammogram and everything was clear. So how, just getting that new, were you in shock? Then how did you work through that?
I actually went to depression because I just lost my father.
Yeah.
So I went into depression, and I was very hurt, and the question came up, why me? Why me? But then you realize there's no answer to your why. Doctors don't have that. Nobody has the answer to that why. You just have to navigate through this and make it positive, look at things as a positive way and make it through that. And I was almost going to give up on my second chemo because it was that painful.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine says, no, I'm here, you'll do it. So I did. And again, like I said, having my positive attitude has helped me come through that. Because strong women aren't born, we have gone through phases of life, and challenges make us, stronger.
Yeah.
Dolly, I just want to say, I just recently I had a one-on-one with you. So you told me that when you were going through treatment, they told you that you'll wake up in the morning and you'll find clumps of hair, and it's going to be scary. And you shaved off your head before you could find that.
Yes, because after, I think one should do,
Yeah.
because you don't want to have a shock when you get up in the morning and you find all this hair on the pillow. So on my second chemo, before I started my second chemo, they had suggested that you should shave your head. So I did. I was bald and beautiful.
Like I'm thinking, I look at my hairbrush and there's like 10 strands of hair, and I'm like thinking, oh God, I'm gonna go bald. I'm gonna be at age 60. I'm gonna have no hair. I'm like all of this stuff. But that is what I like when I say that you inspire. It's like it were endless, Dolly. Endless.
Well, like I said, you have to be very strong. You have to be very strong. And I hope and wish everybody that's going through, going to listen to me and be positive, because cancer is not a death sentence. It's what you make after it. Staying positive is the most important thing, which is going to make your journey much easier.
How was the impact on your family? You mentioned your son. So when you were first diagnosed, what was the talks amongst your family, your dining table?
Actually, didn't tell the family at all. Only people, my co-workers. I was working for Ivanhoe Cambridge at that time, the real estate company. and the girls at work knew, and of course my best friends, a couple of my best friends knew that was it. The family didn't know anything.
You never
Wow.
failed to just shock me, no?
And I wasn't going to tell, because we had just lost my father.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to tell the family. And I wasn't going to actually tell my son either. But the doctor suggested that I should. So I told my son first, and we decided not to tell the family till I go for the surgery, which, because my surgery was done before. So a week before my surgery, got the family over, and I told them that I've got something to tell you. Oh, they all have big smiles in the face, thinking, oh my God, she's going to tell something positive. But then I told them that that I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And it was very shocking for the whole family. But, and I told them that my journey starts in, I don't know, it's going to be a year and a half. That's what I was told. Because I went from chemo to then, what do you call, the other treatment. So it took my whole treatment was about a year and a half. Yeah. Had something I had to go through after that, so.
So how long after was that? So when you were diagnosed till telling your son and your family, how many months or how long after did you tell them?
The family was just a week before my surgery. I told my family that I've been diagnosed with cancer and I'm going for a surgery this week. My son knew, you know, that I was at that time.
Yeah.
So, and I'm thinking that, you know, when we go through challenges, especially illnesses in our lives, we need the love and support of our family. You know,
Yes,
and
we do.
sometimes we also think we don't want to let our family know because we don't want to put them through that pain and suffering. You know, for them, like you said, you just lost your dad, and the family was already going through the grief process, and here knowing that you were battling cancer, that would have added more grief and more stress on them. So so were you relieved that you told your family?
Yes, I
Yeah.
was. I was. Yes, I was. But I made it very clear through my journey I'm going to have only a few friends. And one thing I've learned, always keep negative people away. And that's what I had told, that I'll only have a few friends and families through my journey. And I'm not going to tell anybody, the whole world at the moment, because like I said, I didn't want any negative energy around me. And that helped me to stay positive.
Okay, I know I want to talk about, because you do such great work in the community too. So Jolie, tell us about so what are some of the things, what are the, you know, activities that you're doing to keep your health, you know, to keep engaged with other survivors and, you know, like your voice in the community. I know that you have taken supports and services to help the people in Fiji. So tell us about that.
Well, thanks to you as well. You know, I really want to thank the Canadian professional women for supporting me, because with your support I wouldn't have been able to. Yes, I started dragon boating a couple of years after my treatment, 2018. And my first trip was to dragon boat launch was done in Colombia, where I was part of it. And that time I decided that it has changed my life, dragon boating, how it's sort of gave me a different perspective in life, because you feel on the boat, you feel all these women that have positive energy, and they've all gone through breast cancer. So this is where I started my journey. It inspired me to take it back to my home country, where I was born in Fiji. So in Colombia, when Dr. Daunt was there with me, and I said to him that this is where I want to take. So it actually was started back in Colombia. That Dolly was going to launch it in Fiji. And I came back in 2019. I went to Fiji a couple times, almost 4 or 5 times, and then decided that with Fiji support, with the Fiji Cancer Society, that we're going to launch the dragon boat for breast cancer survivors in Fiji, because it has changed my life and I wanted them to have that experience. Eating healthy, exercising, it's very important, whichever cancer you've been diagnosed with or you've been gone through the treatment, you have to eat healthy and keep yourself active. And dragon boating, Dr. Dawn started about 25 years ago. There's a book, by the way, coming out with article about Fiji and different countries as well. And anybody can purchase that book, which we'll talk about it. And So I thought my sisters back home can benefit from this, because people, once you start dragon boating, when your lymph nodes are taken out, you won't have lymphedema once you start to paddle a lot.
Okay,
That
so
is
that's what I
really
was gonna-
important. Is
Mhm.
people, my lymph nodes were taken out as well,
Mhm.
so that helps you retain the water.
So the
Drawing up, yeah.
rowing and
Yes.
the repetitive movement and all
Right.
this stuff. So would you say this dragon boating? I know. Is it mostly the people who are part of this organization, like for the dragon boating, are breast cancer survivors?
Well, a breast in a boat is
Yeah.
for breast cancer survivors.
Okay, a breast in a boat. Okay.
Yes, but there is other dragon boats out
Mhm.
there, which we compete in August when the national team comes over.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the breast cancer, but internationally, dragon boaters all over the
All
world
over
come.
the
We
world, yeah.
compete with them.
Oh, okay.
We compete with them,
Mm-hmm.
whether they are the number one in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We are side by side.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mhm.
are supposed to be paddling and racing with
Raising
them.
awareness for.
So we do that every
Mhm.
year. Of course, because of COVID, we haven't gone on the water for 2
Mhm.
years,
Mhm.
but this is what it is. So we compete with international teams.
Mm-hmm. So I know you said for a couple of years we couldn't do it because of the pandemic. So what is now that some of the countries are opening up? What are the plans right now? What is the next steps for breast boat?
I
Yeah.
think most likely next year we'll be out on water.
Mhm.
Hopefully the whole team can. If not, we'll have to be about 10 people in the boat instead of
Mhm.
having 22 in the boat. But I think we're all going to be down in the water next year.
Mhm.
And of course, I am launching in a different country. It was supposed to be this year, but didn't happen. So I would like you two to join me on my next adventure. I can't tell you what country,
Yeah.
but it is in works,
Mhm.
and it will be first time dragon boat in that country as well. They've never had a dragon boat for breast cancer survivors.
Mhm.
Yes, they do dragon boat, but they canoe, I should say, not dragon boat.
Mhm.
But this was the first breast cancer dragon boat. And I'm so thankful for Dr. Dawn McKenzie for supporting me through all this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, even myself, I mean, the only reason I found out about dragon boating and the connection to breast cancer was through your initiative and what you're doing. So, I mean, I had no clue
No.
that the impact dragon boating has. So, very good to see that, not only creating awareness about cancer, but also what you can do about it, what helps, and getting people more active and
stay
having
active.
a support system.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you meet new friends, you can discuss about what you have gone through. And I know some people, there's a stigma surrounding breast cancer in Fiji as well. And I think talking openly about what you have gone through and sharing your experience, I think it helps the next person. It makes their journey a little easier. And I know a lot of people suffer in silence, and it shouldn't be that case.
Yeah.
Cancer is not a death sentence.
Yes.
You just have to open up and talk about it, and I think that will ease a lot of pain that you have. And I wish people would do that. And I know it's a taboo in the Asian community, but I just hope people will, look at me and say, hey, she's a survivor, you can do it. If I've
Yeah.
done
I
it,
think
you can do it.
in our Asian community, it's like anything that doesn't work, don't talk about it, right? So it's like, no, we want to, everything that does work, we want to talk about that, but not things that go wrong. And you yourself, coming through this, staying positive, I mean, and there was probably days where you felt drained, you felt, maybe not so good, but how did you keep yourself positive? And also
Motivated
keeping
and, yeah.
other people around you, like your family, positive.
What I did is, like I said, not having negative people around.
Yeah.
The days that I was really down, of course, I couldn't do much when the second day of the chemo, you were sort of completely gone. So the days that I would good, I would want to go out, have a coffee or talk to people, so that, going out and having fresh air, going for a walk, which I did a lot. That helped me, and I think that's what one should do, not being home, since you've just had chemo. Yes, there are days, the first week, you're going to be really completely gone. Completely gone. So once you recover, your blood cells are coming back, you should go out and go for a walk, make yourself, get the fresh air, go meet friends, have a coffee, As long as you keep negative people away, you're fine. You know, this is how you're gonna make it through. But some people just stay home and don't do anything, and that is worse. And start eating healthy.
Eating
Not that I didn't eat healthy before, but it did happen. The cancer can happen to anybody.
exactly. Yeah.
It's how you navigate it through, going through something like this.
And and keeping negative people away, and sometimes we cannot control that. So how did you?
I had made it very clear to my family and my son, and thanks to my son, that I didn't want so many people coming over. I just wanted so and so, and that's how we kept it. My friends would come, and bring me coffee. We'll sit, chat. That was it. If I couldn't go out, they will just after work bring me coffee or whatever, and we'll sit and talk, have something to eat. So my son was there for me. That
The security guard.
security, even though he was in the university, but still, in the daytime I was alone, so nobody would come because I wouldn't open the door. But through all the weekends or whatever, my son was there for me. Yes.
Dolly, you mentioned there's a book coming out.
Yes.
So let's talk about the book.
The book is coming out. It's called 25 Years of Breast Cancer. The book will be published in October sometime, and you can purchase it now.
Okay.
It's about people's journey through breast cancer and dragon boating, how it has changed people's life all over the world.
So it's people's individual stories? Okay.
And people that have taken dragon boat to different countries, like I'm a BC woman that has, and in some other countries, people that have been diagnosed in the US, like Colombia, Catalina took it to Colombia, yet she was residing in Florida, so she launched there. So it's a story about everybody that was inspired by dragon boating and what made them take it back to their countries. And it's life stories about all cancer survivors all over the world, and it's coming out in October. And I do have the website that people can get in touch with Michelle and order the books.
What is it called? What's the book called?
The book title hasn't been released yet. We're having a private launch end of this month.
Yes.
But the book is been published, and it will come out on hopefully in Breast Cancer Month, which is next month, October. Yes.
And the other thing I want to ask you is, you have gone to so many countries and have talked to so many survivors. Like, do you want to briefly share like a story that even wowed you, like somebody having a difficulty accessing the services or chose not to, or like from any of the countries? Do you want to share like anything that really stuck out with you?
Yes, it did, and it's sad and it makes me cry. It was in Fiji. When I did my presentation in Fiji, I think it was in Suva, if I'm not mistaken, or in 92. After the presentation, the women that have gone through cancer have come and talked to me, and was said to hear their stories, because it brought tears to my eyes, what they've gone through, knowing that their husbands have left them, which was really sad.
Yeah.
And to hear from the Fiji Cancer Society that there is stigma about breast cancer in Fiji, and how people don't want to even, knowing that they have cancer, but they don't want to help. They don't want help.
Wow.
They just cover themselves up, bundle it up, and
not get treatment?
No, they just refuse to get treatment. So when it comes to stage 4, when it's too late, then they come and ask for help. It's too late, they can't help. So just hope, and people would listen. When you feel a lump or there's something that you think it's out of please do go get it checked. Get a mammogram done, or go to ask your doctor what you can do that you feel something. Don't wait for the last minute, because like I said, you can survive. It's just, why wait so long? Why? Think about your family members. Think about your kids. You want to live. You want to see everything, what they're gonna go through with the grandkids, whatever. So do get help.
So in Fiji, the stigma is related to just having that, I have cancer, and
especially breast cancer.
Breast cancer, and I don't want anybody to know.
Yes.
And hoping maybe it will just go away on its own.
Exactly. And they just dress up like we do and go to work, and yet they have pain. Yet half of the breast is not there anymore, but they just refuse help.
Yeah.
So do you think the reason is because of, like you shared that the women have breast cancer and the men leave? Did anybody ever say to you, like, some of the stereotype or the stigma is like, if somebody has cancer, if I'm with that person, I'm gonna get it too, or anything like that? Any relation they shared with you?
Not that they gonna get it, but I think it's just that they don't understand that there is cure out there and you can get help. And Fiji Cancer has done so much, and they're doing so much for survivors and people that are going through cancer, taking them picking them from home, bringing them to the hospital. So if they provide everything, it's just you have to ask. But I think it's the shame they have. It's a shame that they have that have got breast cancer. And I don't understand why they should be so ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Dolly, we have a few minutes left. Just before time runs out, I know aside from a breast boat, dragon boating, what are some of the other things? Because when I look at you, you must be doing so many other things that to keep so mentally positive, physically
Looking so fabulous.
physically looking fabulous. So what are some of the other things you're doing for self-care?
I love charity work, which I again, like I said, eating healthy and
Eating
exercising
healthy.
is the most important thing, which I do. I think, you could say I'm obsessed with exercising. I think once you go through that, you know that you have to stay healthy. You have to do exercise. Even though I did before, but I think I do more so now. And it's very important for anybody, whether you have cancer or not, that you have to eat healthy and stay active.
Yes.
And that is the most important thing.
It's almost like getting second lease on life. So you want to do
Yes,
everything right to make sure that you
this
enjoy,
is my
right?
second lease on life now that I've finished my 5 years.
Yeah, so that's great. I mean, we want to thank you for coming to the studio, sharing your experience, your story, and also, helping so many other women and people out there. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So until next time, tune in to MindSense again next week. This is your host, Meena J.
अब मैं हूँ आपकी होस्ट सुरीता चैन.